So the question is, during the development process, what part of Endwalker were you a perfectionist
I'm
about?
excited to learn what that is.
行月のフィナーレの制作の中で吉田さんが最もこだわった部分をお聞かせください。すごい海外インタビューみたい。
いやもうね、ありとあらゆるところなんですけど、特にっていう意味だと、今回より特にですけど、各カットシーンにおける、キャラクターのこう目線、それから会話と会話の間の間、あと喋ってる最中の仕草はかなりその1カットシーンずつ細かくその演出やってるそれぞれの担当者と話をしてこだわらせてもらいました。
So if we're just saying the things, okay, that I am the very most particular about, this time I would say in every single cutscene I was concerned with the direction the characters were looking, and also the time between dialogues and conversations, and also the motions, especially at the beginning of each character's speech.
なんか目線と間って僕特に大事だと思っていて、やっぱり演出する上でその目線って顎を向けることが目線なのではなくて、やっぱり目から先に動く、で首を振らなくても目って感情が出るので、そこをねやっぱりこうとがきにその視線を送るってあったとしても、首が動いて顎ごと動くのか目線目だけが眼球だけが動くのかって全然違うんで、そこはかなりやりました。
Personally, I think the direction of the gaze and how your gaze works is really important. Your eyes convey a lot of emotion. It's not just, okay, your whole chin moves and that's your gaze, right? So in the stage directions and such, I was really concerned with, okay, are your eyes going to move first? Is their whole head going to turn? What's the most natural way to convey this expression?
あとは基本的に14の場合、プレイヤーの皆さんにテキストの進行度合いとかはちゃんと自分のペースで決めてほしいと思ってるから、ボタン送りがあるんですけど、それを許さない、ここはもう演出マックスでいくから自動送りのみっていうシーンに関してはやっぱり喋った後に言葉を飲み込んで次の言葉を発するとか、受けた相手がそれを飲み込んで自分なりに咀嚼してから答えを返すっていう、その無言なんだけどその間ってとても大事、みんなにいろんなことを考えてもらうために大事なので、そこもかなり今回しつこいぐらいちょっと調整させてもらいました。
Also, usually we like to have 14 as a game that you can play at whatever pace you want to, but this time we had a lot of scenes where they would go on autoplay through the text. And when a character talked in these scenes, I really wanted the other characters to take a little bit of time to process those words before responding, because that's important processing time for all of you as well. So I was kind of probably annoying about how particular I was about this.
The autoplay is the same time all the time, and so like you're trying to process things and it's like
解釈の自由度があっていいっていうところはちゃんとそのつもりでディレクションしてるんだけど、ここは誤解されてはまずいっていうところを誤解されないように調整するっていうところはかなり徹底したところですね。
I also was very particular about things not being misunderstood. And obviously, like when you have something foreshadowed or hinted at, that's fine. To leave it up to people's interpretation, but there are certain interpretations we don't really want to guide people towards. So I was particular about how we were portraying those.
because I don't read as fast as the voiceover. So the problem is you set it for the voiceover and then they go into a non-voice scene, and I can't read as fast as I can be read too.
ここは完全に分担して、じゃあもうこっちで全部引き取るから。俺が一番石川夏子の中二に近いと思って。
And so then you have to like tab backwards or shut it off.
Part of this was also because Natsuko, Ishikawa-san, was very busy writing the script up till the very last minute for this expansion, so she couldn't perform her checks as closely as possible. And in the respect of who could stand in for her, I'm probably the closest person, so I ended up doing it a lot and being very particular.
あとやっぱ天野先生のデザインの再現っていうのは今回はもう僕今回行月のフィナーレが1回目のそのハイデリン・ゾディアーク編という1回目の14のフィナーレだからラスボスを是が非でも天野先生にしたいっていうところがあって自分で絵の発注も言ってるし だからこそ天野先生の絵を知る自分大ファンなんで、やっぱ僕がディレクションしたタイトルで天野先生の絵をまあ今のその14の技術にはなるけど、で極限まで再現したいって思いがあったので、そこはもうほんとしつこいぐらいリテイクして調整してっていうのをやらせてもらったんで、そこはめちゃくちゃこだわりました。はい。
Also, because Endwalker was really, in a sense, like the first finale, the first not ending but ending that we had in 14 with the end of the Hydaelyn and Zodiarc arc. I really wanted to have Yoshitaka Amano's art. I'm a big fan of his, and obviously he's associated with the arts in 14 and all of that. So I asked him to do the art, and then when we were reproducing those designs in game, I was super particular about getting it right.
天野先生の発注は必ず僕が行くんですけど、全部申請1個全部自分で言ってるんですけど、まあ、今回久しぶりに天野先生にはラスボスを書いていただきたくてきましたって言って。
These are actually really good questions. A lot of times I'm also really frustrated at what questions they picked, but these are really stacked.
Yeah, coming into it, I'm just like,
this is great.
Yeah, these are dense.
すごい発注。
Of course, ever since A Realm Reborn, I'm the one who's giving Amano his orders for what we want him to draw. And this time I was like, okay, I want you to draw the last boss. I want you to draw Despair.
そう絶望か。でも
So Brian, this is Kata-san, and she has been in charge of localization since Shadowbringers.
Nice.
Koji Fox is now more in like management and like still involved in music and things like that. So Kate is has been, and so she translated part 2.
浮かんできた大丈夫いけるってね。
Part 1 was translated by Aime.
15分20分
So it's just Kate. Thank you. They've been calling her Kata-san. I don't know how to spell that. Is it Kate?
Every time, you know, this time he was like, Despair. But every time he's very good about talking to me. We sort of have a back and forth about what to envision here. We'll talk about, in this case, despair, and, you know, if we've, you know, in this certain situation, okay, you feel despair, what comes to mind then? And in this case, we also added in the extra sort of difficulty of making the bird imagery as well. But, you know, after like 15 minutes, he was just like, yeah, I got it. I have something in mind. Don't worry about it.
まあ今度ね実はなんか見せたかったんだけどね、主演を歌うものの天野先生の原画をどっかのタイミングでお見せできる機会は作りたいなと思う。
I really want to show you the original design we got from him for the End Singer at some point, so I'll look for a chance to do that.
すごいです。
まあ他にはもういっぱいあるんですけど、クエストインスタンスバトルの調整やってたりとか、あとまあサブクエストの開放タイミングが今回ね申し訳なかった、そのなんか後ろ髪を引かれるようなそのサブクエストの出され方が多いなってちょっとコメントも見たんですけど。
The other things, for instance, the instance battles you do in quests, I was quite focused on, as well as the sub-quest timing for how they unlock and all of that stuff. I mean, we've got some comments about that.
今回ってやっぱり地域攻略型シナリオなので、しかも時系列時間軸が前に進む物語だから、なんかやっぱ週末に襲われている状態か襲われる前か襲われた後かって全然話の展開が変わるので、当然住民が週末来てる最中にさ、いやちょっとチョコボ連れてきてほしいとか無理でしょ。
Yeah, so this time, obviously, because we had the final days going on, it's very important to sort of have the quests unlock at the appropriate time. Like, is this happening before the apocalypse comes or during the apocalypse? You don't really want during the apocalypse someone to just be like, can you feed my chocobo or whatever? It wouldn't fit very well.
なのでやったので、かといって
Headlines are already saying Koji Fox working on 16, and like literally all they said was, you guys might speculate that Koji Fox is working on 16, but we actually have plenty capable people that are
them
like,
all unlock at the same
that's
time,
not what this
and suddenly
is.
your screen is filled with
So all they
exclamation
said, that's
marks.
not what this
That's
is.
terrible. I hate that.
なのでもう何回も投資プレイをして、このクエストのこのシーケンスまで来たら3クエスト出して、で3クエストだったら消化する気になるだろうとか。
So that's why this time I played through so many times, and I'd be like, okay, when you get to this sequence of this quest, then these 3 other quests unlock, and 3 is probably a decent number that people can get through, and that sort of thing.
でこのクエストまで来たら5個出して、まあ、このクエストまで来たら残りを出してみたいな感じで潰していってる人にとっては、まあ、別に潰していきゃいいじゃんって感じだと思うんだけど、あのね数の威圧感とかをね、あと話の内容とをそのフラグをお願いして1個ずつ調整してもらうのって本当にもう投資プレイするしかないのですごい大変だった。
So yeah, I have it so like, okay, you go to this quest and then this quest unlocks, and you know, when you're progressing through it, I mean, it's nice. It's nice to have it correct, but at the same time, in order to create a good experience for those who wanted to go through all of the quests, I had to do them a whole bunch of times, which was really hard.
まあだから正直もうちょっと減らしてもよかったかなって思わなくもないな。
Also, sometimes I thought, couldn't we have less of these?
まあそれ以外にもハイデリン透滅戦もめちゃくちゃこだわったし、フェイスの方ね、あと今回久しぶりにテキストたくさん書かせてもらったんで、ID のフェイスのダイアログ、セリフとかはかなりの数書かせてもらったんで、楽しかったです。はい。
Also, I was quite concerned with your showdown with Hydaelyn, as well as the trust system dialogue. In this case, I actually got to write some dialogue for the first time in a while. So writing all of that, all those trust lines was really fun.
はい、ありがとうございます。
アリゼのずるいもヨシピなんかそうです。ハイデリン透滅戦はほぼフルスクラッチで、はい、やりましたんで。
I was keeping a close eye on Hydaelyn from the very start, so.